So, Unrivaled is a league. That's basically it. Unrivaled is a league. We don't know who's the last, 4 players. They have announced now how they're going to be selecting their teams. It's in 6 days they're doing the selection. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Unrivaled. You done goofed. You done messed up now. Like, you had the golden opportunity. You had the best opportunity. And I get it. If you want to say, oh, like, the players might not like it. You know what? These players are making money based on relevance of the league. This would have been the coolest thing ever to pick the teams. They have announced all of these teams. They have it. The 6 coaches know who the coaches are. They don't know what even team they're going to be. They don't know who they're coaching. They don't know who they could be coaching. Like, nobody. It's the worst. It's the worst way of picking it. So I saw this on Twitter, and they could not have made a worse way of picking teams. They couldn't. And this is what it is.
One of the biggest things Unrivaled fans want to know is what team their favorite player is going to be on. So here's how we're going to select the rosters for our 6 basketball clubs. Players will be divided into 6 pods. Pod A, B, C, D, E, and F. From there, our 6 head coaches will work together and begin assigning one player from each pod to one of the 6 clubs. As they work through each pod, they will be looking to create the most equal and competitively balanced rosters possible, while also looking for exciting player combinations that you, the fans, want to see play together.
But like, what? So they're just picking. It's now the narrative team. We're just gonna pick based on narrative, and I'm cool with some coaches wanting that. But like, imagine being left with the I'm sorry, in Unrivaled. Imagine being left to coach the Dijonais, Angel Reese, Alyssa Thomas team, where no one can shoot the ball, and Alyssa Thomas is your guard. Like, imagine being left coaching that team. Like, 3v3, not good. 5, you know what? All of them are good players. All of them are all-star level players. But come on, it's good. It'll be good for like viewership. It'll be good for viewership. Those players. It'll be kind of interesting. But like, if you're a coach, is your job to win or not? Like, I don't even know. I don't even know what's gonna go on. But let's keep going.
The key here is each coach won't know which team is theirs until after all the clubs are set, so they have to make sure the players are distributed evenly.
What if one coach really wants to coach? Let's just say a hypothetical. Let's just say hypothetically, first pick in the draft, as of the players right now, if you get the first pick in the draft, if it's me, I am taking Miss Arike Agumbawale with the first pick in the draft. I'm taking Arike just because of the way this game is. Full court 3-on-3. She can run. She can shoot her shots. She can shoot you in and out of games, but it's less important in 3v3 where it's quick games and everyone's getting shots up. I'm taking Arike with the first pick. But like, let's just say I'm the only one of the 6 coaches that wants Arike with the first pick. And then you end up getting, let's just say the way you want to play, the 6th pick would be, I don't know. Trying to think of a really good player that I really don't want in this. Alyssa Thomas. I really would not want Alyssa Thomas. And let's say Alyssa Thomas is 6th. And you happen to get Alyssa Thomas and you're like, oh, that's not it. And then a coach that really doesn't want Arike gets Arike. Like, it makes no sense. But also, how is there no fantasy draft? I'm sorry. The draft would be one of the most interesting parts of the entire season. One of the most interesting parts of the season is the draft. Or will be the draft. It might be the most interesting part. You're gonna see what happens. Like, oh, who are they taking first? Is someone gonna have like my theory of like, this is a league for Arike? Or is somebody gonna go, you know what? I'm taking best player available. I'm taking Stewie. Or someone being like, you know what? This is 3v3. I want the unicorn. Give me Satu with the first pick. Or at the end of the day, the people that are picked last, it's who cares? And I mean that, who cares? And you might be like, oh, it'll upset Azare Stevens or Kate Martin. So, this is a This is a sport. This is an entertainment business. This is the entertainment business. Like, nobody cares in the WNBA draft if you're the last pick. Nobody, like, as in, nobody said it was unfair that Kate Martin wasn't the first rounder because it was picked on merit. You are being paid 6 figures. In some cases, for some of these players, I wouldn't be surprised, 7 figures to play basketball for 2 months in Miami. If you are picked last, cool. Who cares? Like, even if that, and if it pisses off a player, so fucking what? So what? For the sake of a lot of money that they missed out on. Because if there was a fantasy draft, there would be hype coming into the draft. Let's just say they announced there was a fantasy draft today. The next 7 days on all of social media would be people hyping up, oh, who's going to go where? Oh, what coach gets which teams? And then, I don't know, maybe you could have the coaches, like, before it get announced, and then it comes out, there's like a lottery, and then a draft lottery, like which coach gets which players, and you could do that. You would do that like at the start, and then it's all like, oh, what coach is going to take who? Ooh, is a coach going to pair this player with this player? X, Y, and Z. Like, it creates this whole social media buzz before it, and then people go in on November 20th and are, like, interested. They sit through the whole draft and not just wait and be like, oh, Coach X is coaching the Mist, and he's coaching Satu, Kelsey Plum, Tash Cloud, Shakira Austin, Aaliyah Edwards, and Courtney Williams. Who cares? Who cares? But if there was a fantasy draft, you would see. And they should allow trades too. They should allow trades too. Like, you can trade, because this is a 3-year deal. Imagine if you just went to a coach, and if these coaches were like, say if the coaches were guaranteed for 2 years, and you're like, I'll give you my first. I'll give you my first this year. Trade, like, their second for your first round pick, but you give me your first next year. Like, something like that. That would be hilarious. But, nah. Or if things aren't working out, we can trade. Or if, like, let's say a team is lacking a big, and then they're like the last 5 players, and they're left with all guards. It's like, oh, I'm going to have to make a trade. Then people start to talk, be like, okay, is there going to be any trades? And maybe you give 24 hours for any pre-trades where teams are allowed to do that. And like, teams can be tactically for who they're taking. They're like, you know what? Let me go and take just best player available here, and then I'm going to trade it with somebody else. But like, that would be, for me, I think that's what they should be looking towards. I think that this could be such a cool social media thing. And it seems like Unrivalled are like, you know what? Nah. Just like the WNBA, when it comes to things that could work on social media, there are a lot of good ideas. And I don't mean, like, again, at the end of the day, these are people, and you could say, oh, it wouldn't be fair to people. Then the draft in the WNBA draft isn't fair in that regard. Then sports isn't fair. But like, the sports isn't fair in the first place. But this would make them all a lot of money. Because fucking equity in the league. Come on. I can't believe they blew this. I cannot believe they messed this up.